Hey y'all, Jaeger here again with another war video. Pretty interesting one today. Luke is coming to town, baby. So you know it's always going to be a fun one. Two classics so far already. Luke and Okoye just cleaning up shop this whole season. So here we go once again, taking famed Mystic Defender Killmonger with a Science Champ for the second war out of three. And here we go, man. So Luke does something similar to Leader where he can control the power gain, and then also what Luke has is Sunder. So that'll remove Killmonger's crit resist, and then once you get the concussion up, he's not going to be reverbing as much. So just generally, this is pretty smooth sailing. I do take a good bit of reverb damage just because I threw the special 2 while it was up, so I did take a nice chunk there. But overall, like pretty smooth. Luke just once again taking care of business. It's been awesome this season being able to take him all over the map because I know for a while I had to fight for the fact that he was a good war champ, and he most certainly is. He's super flexible. You can just assign him all over the place. And like I said, most Mystic champs, basically anywhere on the map, he's going to obliterate. But as you can see from some of the fights I've done this season, and I didn't post any from the last like proper war season we had, but I took that 9 Sentinel that everyone is afraid of with him. I took tons of matchups there. I took a Hazard Shift Red Skull with him, and just generally, he's going to clean up. So yeah, this fight takes about a minute and a half here, so I think that's pretty good for class disadvantage. I believe this Killmonger was rank 4. I would need to check. But yeah, you can see the exhaustions and concussions and Sunder are just keeping him locked down, basically. So you can see also with the concussions, he gets those indestructible charges, but he doesn't actually become indestructible. I think you'll see one of my hits goes indestructible and he loses a charge, but yeah, only a 25%. There we go. Yeah, you can see they all kind of came off right away. 3 25%ers in a row there. Kind of neat, but yeah, smooth as can be there. Get another concussion up right at the end. Boom, 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 and there we go. So yeah, Luke just absolutely awesome. But I do not play very well this war, so you guys are going to see this one coming up here. Ebony Maw, my first mistake, I threw a special 1, so that was bad. Definitely should not have done that. So this kind of goes off the rail really quick, but here's where you're going to be able to see. Luke just absolutely mops up. So here we go. My first mistake here. I tried to reset strike counter. That was dumb. It was stupid and dumb. And then I eat a heavy. Also stupid and dumb. Indestructible. Lats through basically the entire degen there. We only take about 2 ticks. But yeah, you could see I thought this was going pretty well still, and then it gets worse. So I just really kind of mopped this up. Yep, there we go. There's another one mistake. I get rooted, I get heavied again. It's not a pretty scene, and guess what? It gets worse still. So, again, don't heavy there, because I'm a dumb idiot. And then, there it is. This is when I started panicking. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So, threw the special 2, didn't time it right, threw it into the miss, but again, Luke just tanks this like crazy. Because I ate the heavy earlier, no degen off this special 3 because he won't trigger the power gain mission. I'm not close enough to hit him there. The exhaustions were still keeping that power gain in check, and we clean up, thankfully. But yeah, a lot of user error on my part there, and that could have been a pretty much 30-second fight if I hadn't thrown that initial special 1. The amplifies really don't matter in that fight very much unless you get hit like I did. But yeah, could have been much cleaner and probably much faster too. But even when fights go sideways, that's why I love Luke, because he'll just bail you out about 5 different times there. So no matter how horrible you play, he's got your back. Here we have a Wong on Fisticuffs. And yeah, Luke does not even need debuffs to smoke a lot of Mystic champs. So you're going to see just his base damage gets about, I think, like 40% of this fight, maybe even more by the time Fisticuffs even goes down. So yeah, kind of pretty nothing fight, honestly, pretty trivial. So yeah, here we go. Just taking it slow, taking it smooth. You can see we're taking off pretty nice little chunks here with just our basic combos. And Luke gets all of his attack rating from debuffs, so this is no, attack rating bonus or anything going on right now at all. So he's just throwing his specials. Like, I guess the idea here was to slow down a lot of science champs, but yeah, frankly, I'm not seeing it here. I think there's better placements here, most likely. I would need to look, but I think you can put Wong would be better spent somewhere else on the map, because I know he can definitely be annoying with his heavy and his charges sometimes on certain nodes. So boom, boom, bam, bam. There we go. So you get the concussion up, and I mean the fight was over basically as soon as it said go, but Now it's like super duper Omega over. There we go. Easy peasy. Nice and simple there. Here we have a Bastion on a pretty interesting placement. So we have Conflictor and Combat Deja Vu Prowess. So I think I use a Power Start one here. I can't recall, but yeah, once you get to Special 2, you'll never guess what happens. The fight's over. So here we go. Bastion did not have any ability accuracy protection. I made sure I checked up on that because I was thinking that he might, but he does not. So here you're going to see Tactic, Defender here. That don't matter. That don't matter. So we have, yeah, we're going to take a nice chunk of block damage there with the Puncture up, but nothing he can't handle between his resistances and then the extra block proficiency he gets. So still not too bad. And we're going to actually try and push to a Special 3 here. Get the concussion up. And there we go. GG. Fight's done. So we eat this Special 3 here, which is just going to give us a bunch of power. And then also throw some more exhaustions on Bastion here. Get to watch his Special 3 animation. Don't get to do that super often, but boom, bam, bam. And there we go. So yep, got this under control now. You can see he's not gaining the prowess from the node, and thus he's also not gaining the puncture from the node. And we get up a second concussion for good measure, and now he's not going to trigger anything ever again. And there's also, well, that one won't matter as much, but yeah, I did throw the concussion into the Conflictor that time, and it doesn't purify it. So yeah, something about Masochism over time is a little different than the way that the classic ones work. But yep, 25k medium there. Boom, bam, 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 done. Yeah, so that fight was a little kind of interesting on paper, and you can see he just took care of business. You get that concussion up, and the nodes are no more. And here we go. We're gonna have some classic Okoye silliness. I feel like Okoye versus Lumitrix should just be the title of this war season for me. I think I've taken this matchup in literally every single war on like 4 different nodes. So Okoye, once again, silly, stupid, broken champ. Here we go. We're gonna Dex, and GG, fight's done. So there we go. Get that up. Start getting our shocks up. Lumitrix, his AI in war just loves throwing special ones. Fought him in Battlegrounds a bunch, does not. So definitely a different experience over there versus in war. But still, you can see, again, throws his special one into a hard block. That should be also the theme of the season. Lumitrix throwing his special one into a hard block, and Lumitrix throwing his special one when he has 2 bars, just to make sure my Okoye fights have to take a minute instead of 45 seconds. So very rude of him. But at the end of the day, not a big deal. So this node does have the soul bar if you parry 3 times, which I think was meant to kind of do a trap on Okoye if you weren't paying attention. But I was paying attention, and I'm just not going to parry, and you're going to see this is going to be done with a great efficiency. So here we go, Relic coming in, and Heavy is going to refresh, I think, 20 of these shocks. And bye-bye. Bye-bye, Lumitrix. See you later. You made a good attempt. And you can just see he's just ticking down so insanely fast, and yeah, super simple. Lumitrix goes down there. And last fight of the war here, we have the same Stunning Reflection, Bleed Shock, Photon. I think I play this one a little better overall than last time, but I also get hit. So that was not good. I should have probably put on the Invul boost for this one, and I think I will if I get this assigned in the future, just because there's a lot of opportunities for errors, and there's not a lot of margin for those errors. So want to make sure I'm on top of things. But you'll see most of this fight goes pretty well. It's just I get this Bane on me here, take a good chunk of damage, and then she's going to light intercept me at some point, which I was obviously not particularly pleased about. So there we go, knock her down to activate Pure Light while she's still below a bar. Here we go. I get a lot of Bane damage on me. You can see her blocked hits don't too much into Okoye because I don't really have that many debuffs on me currently. I think for this fight, I should probably be going for special ones, just to make sure I keep my block damage as low as possible. And there we go. I barely mistimed that. I thought that would last until the Bane trigger. And then here we go. This is where I mess up. I literally could not tell you why I did not punish that special 2. And I think if I do punish that special 2, this fight goes incredibly differently. You can see she's just ninja intercepted me there. Literally insane that she was able to do that, but it's fine. And here we go. I'm trying not to push her over special 2 because then she would have gotten Pure Light with 15 charges. So I just back off, anti-bait there a little bit, get to special 2. Have to play a little bit risky here, but you know, you gotta risk it for the biscuit, especially when you're at 20% against Photon. Fight is done. There we go. So yeah, close call, good war, and thanks for watching.